The Ultimate Fighting Championship is coming back to Winnipeg for the first time in almost a decade. UFC Fight Night Burns versus Malott is happening at the Canada Life Centre in April. Canadian star and UFC welterweight Mike Malott is facing Gilbert Burns in the ring. And joining us now is UFC star Mike Malott. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now before we talk about this big match, what does it mean to you to be a part of the UFC family, first of all?
That has been a dream come true. You know, since I was probably 13 years old, I've been wanting to fight in the UFC. So I got signed in 2021 off of Dana White's Contender Series, kind of like the world's toughest job interview.
Wow.
Where you have to fight, and if they like you, they sign you that night. And, you know, could barely hold the emotions back that night, but still feeling just as blessed.
And just training for something like that, you've been thinking about this since you were just a little guy, right? Like 13 years old.
Yeah, this has occupied the majority of my thoughts since I was 13 years old, and I've been dreaming of doing this my whole life. And obviously the competition part and being able to fight in the UFC, but also just the tactical and technical sides of martial arts. Like, I love this game. It's my favorite thing to think about and do. So yeah, very blessed to get to do it for a living. That's
fascinating. Okay, so you are the first Canadian to headline a UFC event in almost 6 years. What does it mean to you to hear something like that?
It's really cool. Yeah, when my manager told me, I immediately was so ecstatic, just like, you know, screamed in the phone, like, yes, let's go. You know, after my last one, I thought, okay, maybe there's a chance I could headline one, you know, maybe my next one or win one more, but for it to actually come to fruition and be told I'm going to headline the card, it was pretty special.
Your family, they must be so proud of you.
They're very supportive, and they get excited for the fights, and they've been to pretty much all my fights in the UFC. So yeah, it's cool. They're all getting their tickets for Winnipeg.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You are one of the top prospects in the UFC right now. You're definitely the top one out of Canada. What did it take for you to reach that level for the UFC?
I've been at this for a really long time. I've been training for about 20 years, so you know, I'm newer to the UFC, but I took kind of a long road. You know, I took a few years off before I got to the UFC and coached in the States for a few years as well, and you know, my life was still focused around MMA, even though I wasn't the one competing as a professional fighter. But I finally felt like I was in a spot where I really wanted to pursue this again, and I felt like I had built up my skills and experience in coaching other guys and focusing on different martial arts, and yeah, so it takes a long time to build the skills to be ready to fight in the octagon, but yeah, I feel great now.
Okay, so you don't call it a ring, you call it an octagon?
Yeah, the UFC is the octagon.
There you go, you just taught me something.
That's all good.
Okay, so your challenger is Gilbert Burns. You'll be facing him in the ring. Tell us a little bit about who he is and how you're prepping to face him.
Yeah, he's a great fighter. You know, he fought for a world title. He challenged for a title a couple of years ago. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's dangerous everywhere, and he's also, from every interaction I've had with him and seen of the guy online, he's a super nice guy and really skilled fighter. So he's a hard guy to hate. You know, luckily I don't draw from having to dislike my opponent to prepare for them or to go out there and fight. Like, this is just business for me. I've fought a friend before, and just it happens. But no, he's a super nice guy and a super skilled opponent.
And when you are going in there, you don't want to overthink things either, right? You're going to follow your instincts. You were saying that just before we did this interview. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, you don't want to overthink it when you get in there, right? So much of the sport is reaction time and reacting to what's happening in live time, and the more you're trying to think about things and overanalyze, the more you might be, you know, have paralysis by overanalysis.
Oh,
you need to trust your instincts. You need to train your instincts. That's what we're doing in training camp, is really refining instincts and then trusting them and believing that that's going to get the job done for you.
Well, we believe in you, and this is happening at Canada Life Centre on Saturday, April 18th. There are tickets available indeed.